Hi there, my name is Dr. Dena Counts, and I'm the Associate Dean and Academic Liaison here at ACU Online. As part of my duties, I monitor and uphold our academic integrity violation process. This checklist takes you through that process. Now, if you're interested, you're welcome to go to our Academic Affairs webpage where that process is documented. Now, this is a process that faculty at ACU have determined, and we at ACU Online are pledged to support as we uphold integrity for our campus. So let's go on and look at the 3 different phases of academic integrity violation process. All right, so let's scroll down and look at phase 1. In phase 1 of the process, you're trying to determine if an AIV actually occurred. This could be a student that is putting blank posts in a discussion so they can see other students' posts. It could be AI usage when it's not allowed in an assignment. It could be plagiarism. So package together a de-identified document, remove that student's name, and send the materials that prove an AIV occurred or support that an AIV occurred. Send that document to 2 other faculty members. We want to see if they also believe that an AIV happened. If the 2 faculty members agree, then you're going to go ahead and go to phase 2 of this process. If there's not a consensus, maybe one says yes and another says no, then send it to a 3rd faculty member to see if they agree that an AIV happened. If you can't get in a consensus, then the process stops there. But if you do have consensus, or you suspect cheating or the blank post occurs and you have proof of that as well, then we're going to go ahead and move on to phase 2 of the process. So in phase 2, we email the student and phone them requesting to meet. We want to have a teaching conversation with the student. Now, to get the student phone number, you just need to contact your program director and they can find that out for you. Also, here's some example emails and phone messages that you can share with students. In the email, we're basically telling the student that we need to meet because we found something in their work that makes us suspect that something occurred with their academic quality in the class. The phone message is basically just a message saying, check your email, because we don't want to have that discussion yet with the student. We want to make sure that when we have the discussion, we have a witness. So we're just telling them to check their email to find details about what's needed to happen going forward in this process. Now make sure that you give the student 72 hours to reply to your email. In that email, you're asking to set up a formal conversation with the student over phone or via Zoom, and we want to make sure that we include another ACU faculty member. That way we have a witness to the conversation and support in that conversation as well. Before the meeting, be sure to look at your course syllabus to confirm what options you have for penalties. If the student does not reply to your request for a meeting within that 72 hours, you can just skip this step and go to the next one. However, and we hope that the student does reply to your request for a meeting, and if they do, in that meeting we suggest you cover the following information. Show the student the AIV and why it was determined that an AIV occurred. Ask them, what happened? What may have happened to make us suspect this and for this document to show this? Use the meeting as a teaching opportunity to determine if that student needs additional support services, like maybe they need to be connected with Alpha because they are dyslexic. We want to guide the student on how to avoid the situation in the future. Also, you'll need to explain to the student the consequences of their actions as supported by the syllabus. Now, sometimes in that conversation, it's hard to make the decision yet because you really want to have a private conversation with a witness who is in the meeting with you. And that's okay. Feel free to tell the student that you will email them the information on what actions you will take because of the AIV. You will need to affirm with them their right to appeal the decision to the dean's office for that college within 5 days, and inform the student that we will record the AIV in the dean's office. And after multiple violations, the student could be dismissed from the university. They can see more information on that in the student handbook. Now, as we wrap up this meeting in this process in phase 2, you'll need to send a follow-up email after the meeting, and here we've given you an example one here. And in that email, we document what occurred and what decisions we came to. Here's a list below of things that need to be in the email if you write your own. Make sure you say, hey, an AIV was found in this assignment. It was verified by 2 faculty members. We tried to meet, or we did meet. Tell them what happened, just to affirm and document what happened in the meeting. Talk about the consequences and what you're going to do. It may be that you're going to take off 20% and allow them to redo the assignment. Or it may be that you're giving them a 0 on the assignment. Or it could be even as bad as that you're kicking them out of the class and giving them an F. Do remind them that they have the right to appeal to the dean's office, and this would be the dean's office for their college. You can ask your program director who that might be within 5 days. And remind them that the AIV will be recorded in that dean's office, and after multiple violations, they could be dismissed from the university. So this part wraps up our phase 2 of the process, and now we need to move on to phase 3. Okay, so now at this point, we have finished phase 1 and 2. Phase 1, where we gathered the evidence and asked other instructors to confirm our suspicions. And in phase 2, we met with the student, with a witness, and talked to them about why we suspected it was an academic integrity violation and how they might avoid it in the future. We've also sent them documentation in phase 2 telling them the consequences of their decision and their right to appeal. But now we're in phase 3. Create a single document that combines all the communication and documentation with the student. You'll turn in that supporting documentation to me, the Associate Dean, and here's my email for you. The student will have 5 days to appeal the finding or consequence to the dean of their college. Again, talk to your program director to find out the name and email of the dean of that college. If the appeal does occur, the dean will consider the student's appeal within 5 days of receipt and notify the student of the final decision. Now, after the appeal process has been completed, or if it's not been appealed, the provost's office, I will file that documentation, and I will file the decision that was made by the dean in the student's misconduct records in Salesforce. What we do through Salesforce is by keeping all the student documents there, we're able to verify if a student is doing this action across the classes. I know that academic integrity conversations are not really fun for us as professors in a class. However, you and I both know that we need to honor each other in our words and our actions, and as a professor, we want to help our students understand how to appropriately approach academic integrity in their assignments. As always, if you have questions about the academic integrity violation process, let me know because I'm here to help.